Welcome to Slow Pour Whiskey. My name's Trent, and today we're going to be talking about the Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean Cask. So like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about the Balvenie Caribbean Cask today. This bottle holds a special place in my heart. Today is the anniversary of the passing of one of my friends, and I actually bought this bottle in honor of him. It was a bottle that I shared with him and another friend, and when he passed away, within a few days of him passing away, I bought this bottle because we basically killed the bottle that we had that night. Not quite, but there were a few of us sharing this, enjoying this together, and it was one of his favorites before he passed. And so yeah, today on the anniversary of his passing, I decided this would be the one I would review for the channel. So yeah, let's talk about the Balvenie. So this is a 14-year-old single malt scotch whiskey from the Balvenie. It's 14 years old. It's matured in rum casks. I don't know if you can see right there. Matured in rum casks. And the Balvenie I have a love-hate with. For one of my friend's bachelor parties, we bought a bottle of the Balvenie 21-year-old, the 21-year-old Portwood. And the Balvenie has just kind of always had a, special place in our heart, me and my friend group. We have always appreciated a lot of what they have to offer. But as I've grown in my appreciation of Scotch whiskey, I've begun to realize that the Balvenie is not a brand that a lot of us whiskey aficionados, I don't know that I'm an aficionado, but those of us that really appreciate quality, craft presented integrity bottlings, the Balvenie doesn't come up much. This bottle is 14 years old, so it has a decent amount of age behind it, aged in Caribbean rum casks. But it's only 43% alcohol by volume, and generally someone that is a whiskey purist, or however you want to call it, really wants something that's a little bit more like 46% or higher. 43 is pretty, it's still good, but it could be so much better. It would have so much more oomph behind it if it was stronger than just 43%. It also says nothing on the bottle about being unchill filtered, so it is likely filtered, which, to each their own. But the filtration pulls out flavor, it pulls out texture, and it takes out some of the stuff that makes really good Scotch whiskey. Also, if you look at it, I don't know if you can tell here, it's definitely a good amount darker than you might expect for a 14-year-old. And it's got this like orangey glow to it. Can you tell the orangey glow? That is a good indication that caramel coloring has been added. So it's not caramel, it's not natural color. So, this Scotch doesn't have a lot going for it from a whiskey aficionado, a whiskey appreciator, someone who appreciates genuinely presented, good, quality, solid single malt Scotch whiskey. But this is one that my friends and I have always appreciated, and it's one that I now think of my friend when this bottle comes up. You'll see that this bottle is empty, obviously. I've got the remainder of it here in this bottle because I want to, that there wasn't a lot of it left in the bigger bottle, and I want it to last for a while without oxidizing too much. So I transferred it to a little bottle here so I can keep it for a while. In spite of the fact, though, that this is only 43%, in spite of the fact that it is chill filtered, heavily chill filtered, and in spite of the fact that it has caramel coloring added, it's actually still a very good single malt Scotch whiskey. I would definitely recommend this to someone who wants to try something that's a little bit unique. It's not just sherry cask or bourbon cask. It's got something different. If you're a rum drinker, this is actually a good stepping stone from rum into Scotch whiskey. So let's get this on the nose here and see what we come up with. It's got a sweetness right off the bat. It's got a sweetness to it that's like it's malty and sweet. It's like baked fruits, baked apples maybe, but baked bananas for sure. There's some tropical fruit in there. There's some mango. It's very malty. It's not peated. It's unpeated. It is a Highland Scotch, a Highland malt. So it's got some of that like fruitiness, that like Highland malt style, but not peated. There's some tropical fruit. There's some passion fruit maybe. A little bit of mint, like a spearmint maybe. It's definitely malty, a little bit not super farmy, but you can tell it's not just fruit. It's like farm a little bit. It's very easy to smell. It's only 43%, so it doesn't have a lot of strength or kick behind it. As far as like intenseness, prickliness on the nose, it's very smooth, and that is because it has had a lot of the flavors stripped out of it. I've been letting this sit for a while. Generally, again, you want to let it be able to sit and breathe a minute for every year old it is. So this should sit for at least 14 minutes. If it was higher than 43%, I would say it should sit for a little bit, like probably 20 or so minutes. But because it's lower alcohol by volume, it doesn't take as long to breathe and to oxidize and open up a little bit. It's definitely, compared to a lot of the scotches we've reviewed on this channel, it doesn't have a lot of body to it. Like, it doesn't leave a lot of legs. It looks watery in the glass. There's not as much viscosity and thickness, chewiness to it like a non-chill filtered scotch would be. Let's get this on the palate and see what it tastes like. Oh, there's some on the nose still. There's some like some sweetness, like sugar, brown sugar, toffee maybe. Like a burnt sugar, like creme brulee, like a burnt brown sugar. A little bit of like confectioner. It's very sweet on the nose. Let's get it on the palate. In honor of my friend. It's got a honeyness going on. A bit of like vanilla ice cream, kind of. There's some toffee for sure. There's oak from the barrel a little bit. It's like sugar in there too. It's definitely very sweet, but it lacks, it's been a while since I've had this actually. It lacks some of the texture and the mouthfeel that a lot of the scotches that I drink these days have. So it leaves a little bit to be desired, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer. It's got good flavor, though. I'm going to add some water. Now, you can't add lots of water to this because it's only 43%. So we have to be careful with how much we add. But I'm wondering if adding a little bit of water will open it up a touch. So I'm going to do maybe like 3/4 of a teaspoon. Let's see here. Just go like that. I don't want to do too much. Everyone has a different level of water that they add, and there's no right or wrong. Some people don't add any. I like to add some because it just allows the whiskey to breathe and open up a little bit more, and I really want this to open up. I feel like there should be more here, and there isn't as much here. as I would like there to be. It's possible that it has oxidized a little bit too much. It's 43%. So lower alcohol by volume bottles will oxidize faster because there's less alcohol holding it together and more can come out into the bottle. So maybe I waited too long before I transferred it to one of these bottles. We'll give it a second with the water, and we'll come back to that and see how we feel about it after it's had some time to sit in the water. But yeah, I wanted to bring this bottle because I don't know if you're like me. You really like, I really like to get into Scotch whiskey and like pull apart the notes and understand the process and get all the flavors and work through all of that. And there are some good flavors in here to pick through, though right now it needs some more time to open up. Hopefully we can pull out some more of the stuff that's in it. The thing about whiskey, though, is that it's something that is a tool that can be used to bring people together. It's this bottle that me and a few other friends came together around one night and just celebrated and talked and hung out and had a good time. I guess it really wasn't a celebration. Like, we weren't celebrating anything other than it was a really nice summer night. And we were just hanging out and having a good time and spending time talking and sharing stories and interacting and getting to know each other and laughing and just enjoying ourselves. And Scotch is something like that people can come to the table around and engage with each other. It's a conversation piece, and it's something that like encourages community, which is what this channel is, I'm hoping, will be about. Getting people together to come to find commonality in what we drink and what we talk about while we're drinking this whiskey together. And so it doesn't always have to be the best Scotch. It doesn't have to be like the one that everyone talks about is the one you have to love the most. This will always be, we'll give it another shot here in a second, but this will always be one that's important to me because it's attached to good memories with people that I love and people that I loved and people that I wish were here. And it's a way for me to remember. There's something about the fact that this bottle is 14 years old. There's something special about the fact that it takes time, and it's 14 years old, aged in the cask when it is put in the bottle, but then like it could sit for years. Like this is older than 14 years old. This liquid is older than 14 years old. It's only been aged 14 years. But it's something that is like a moment in time encapsulated in a bottle. And I feel like in our lives, in our whiskey journey, we will have moments that are connected to bottles we drink. Sad moments, happy moments. I'm hoping you're not drinking because you're really sad and you're just drinking to forget. Whiskey is a tool that's used to help enjoy life and to bring people together. So drink responsibly. Don't overdo it. Don't drink your sorrows away. But it's something that can be used to mark an important moment like tonight. And it's something to make memories that can be remembered later. So let's go for another taste here on the palate and see how we feel after it's had some time to sit in with some water for a bit. Yeah, there's some more vanilla bean, some ice cream, some sugar cane, molasses, brown sugar, toffee. It definitely kind of tastes like a rum. It doesn't taste like a rum, but it has this like baking spice and nutmeg to it too. The finish has like allspice and baking spices and nutmeg and citrus peel, and it is the finish is actually pretty good. It's kind of soft. The sweetness kind of like is soft and gentle and warming. It's a little bit of a drying, which is not my favorite, but it's okay. It's got some of that like oakiness. It actually has some really good flavors. I just wish I wish it was stronger. I wish it was 46%. If this was 46% alcohol by volume, and if it was unchill filtered, this would be a banger of a whiskey. Unfortunately, it's not. Does that mean you shouldn't buy it? Absolutely not. If you like rum, this would actually be a really good choice. If you're a rum drinker and you're curious about getting into single malt scotch, this would be a great choice. It's a very easy drink because it has less alcohol by volume. It's a very simple, easy, enjoyable, kind of an all-around. Most people that like whiskey would like this whiskey, partially because it's playing it safe. It doesn't coat the mouth like some of the other scotches that I have in my collection. It just doesn't have that craft presentation. It feels like a mass-produced whiskey, which is a bummer because the house style of the Balvenie I actually really like. I think it's very elegant. I think it's very easy to drink, and it got a lot of good things going on. But unfortunately, they just filter and kind of tone it down and tame it and make it safe by filtering it and doing all of this stuff to make it less for people like me. And I think that's a bummer. If this was 46%, if it was craft presented and unchill filtered and didn't have caramel coloring, because I would like to see what whiskey in a rum cask looks like, because I know it doesn't look like this. It's not orange. It wouldn't look like this. I'd love to see what it actually looks like so I can get an idea of what the rum cask is actually doing to the whiskey. Their spirit is great. I would love to have a little bit more going on, a little bit more, more complexity going on in this. Unfortunately, it just has been kind of filtered to the point of not having too much going on, though it is sweet and it's delicious. I think this could be an incredible whiskey. It just isn't what it could have been. It reminds me of my friend and his life. It's sad he did not need to go when he went. I feel like it's a story that could have had more. There could have been more to it, and I feel like stuff happened and the story's incomplete. I feel like this kind of has a little bit of that going on. Let's have one more, see what it's like on the palate and the finish. So, my friend. Baked bananas, honey, malt. There's still a little bit of a sharpness. I don't know if it's the caramel color. I'm not sure. But there's a something that I don't normally get on unchill filtered 46%. There's just something a little bit off about it. And it might be the caramel color. It might be the fact that it's just chill filtered. I haven't had much chill filtered sub 43% scotch recently. And most of mine that I have is unchill filtered. So it's a different beast. I would recommend this to someone who's just getting started. I would recommend this to someone who is looking to see what impact rum has on scotch. I feel like from the perspective of someone who is trying to appreciate really good single malt scotch whiskey, this is enjoyable, but it's not at the same level as a lot of other, honestly, cheaper bottles. I'm in the Chicagoland market. Let's see. I don't even know how much this one costs. Yeah, right now it looks like it's going for $85. Unfortunately, this is not worth $85. This would be good at $70, but at 43%, it's still like you're paying for a brand name here. You're not paying for the quality of the liquid. You're paying for a brand. You're paying for a presentation. So yeah, I feel like a bottle like this represents a memory for me. It represents a good time with a friend. And that's okay. Not all scotch needs to be the highest quality for you to enjoy it. Good scotch enjoyed with good company is always quality scotch and quality time spent. And in honor of my friend, this scotch will likely always be on my shelf. It may not always be the one I go to, but it's one I will always have in memory of him. And that alone makes it worth having. And having friends to share a malt like this with makes it all the better. So I just encourage you, treasure your friends, treasure your family, unless they don't treasure you. Although I think a lot of reward comes to those who are friends and family with those who don't deserve it. Anyway, I need to wrap this up. I think I would rate this at like an 83 out of 100. 80. I'm actually gonna say like 82 out of 100. 83. Let's say 83. If it could be 85, if it was 46%, if it was unchill filtered, it could be even higher. There's a lot of potential in this bottle. I just wish it was presented better. So we'll give this an 83 out of 100, but I'll always have it around because it represents my friend and a good memory and a good story. And so I would just encourage you to, whatever whiskey you have around, enjoy it with friends and family, enjoy it with good company, and remember that life is short, and the same element that makes a bottle like this possible 14 years, that element is time. It's the thing it's the necessary element, the necessary ingredient to Scotch whiskey and to life and to time spent with each other. So in honor of my friend, cheers. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll come back again with another review shortly. Cheers.